Well, Japan is certainly opening back up to the whole world. 2023 is going to be a great year to visit. So whether you're planning on visiting or even moving to Japan, I have some tips for you. You're going to want to check them out. Tokyo International Airport at Haneda is the front door to Tokyo and perhaps one of my favorite airports. From here you can look out over Tokyo, watching the air traffic come and go and get inspired to explore Japan. Now there's a huge difference between being a tourist in Japan and living in Japan. So these first tips are geared for tourists and the last tips are for those considering moving to Japan. Here we go. So first of all, do your international travel prep work. That will make the biggest difference in getting through the airport fast. Ruth's parents just visited us from Brazil and all of their documents were up to date in order. Their entire entry process from start to finish only took a little over 30 minutes. It was so fast. Your airline will have information on what you need to enter Japan. The recommendations and requirements are constantly changing, so make sure you do a search before your own trip. Secondly, you want to do your travel prep work. All you're going to visit while you're here in Japan, because there's a lot of great places to visit and you don't have time to see them all. Even at the airport, you can tell that Japan has a little bit of everything for everyone. Japan is an amazing fusion of ancient and high tech, east and west, nature and city, expensive and affordable. So don't just do something because it's there. Find the things that interest you most, and chances are you will love your trip to Japan. Number 3, enjoy being a tourist. That's right. A lot of tourists like to pretend that they are not tourists, they're just locals heading around. But don't do that here. Being a tourist in Japan has huge benefits. Japan has nice incentives just for tourists, like special travel packages or tax breaks that only apply for tourists. The most you can stay without a visa is for 90 days. Then if you want to stay any longer, you'll have to leave the country and come back, become a student, or get a job, in which case you will lose the advantages of being a tourist. So make the most of your time traveling around Japan to visit all the places you want to see. If you end up living in Japan for work or study, your time for travel will be limited at best. But perhaps one of the greatest advantages a tourist has in Japan is the Japan Rail Pass. It's no secret that Japan has one of the best public transit systems in the world, and the Japan Rail Pass allows you to travel throughout Japan as much as you want at a highly discounted rate. This includes the airport trains and Japan's amazing bullet trains. Residents can't get this deal, so it's an incredible way to see Japan that is certainly unique to Japan. If you're visiting Japan, chances are you don't know Japanese, so what can you expect in terms of communication? This leads me to the next point. Even though most places, they have a lot of people who know English, don't assume that you're going to hear English or be able to talk in English. Many tourist spots, restaurants, and public places have English as an option, but many places do not. If your expectation is that English will not be an option, you will be pleasantly surprised how many times it is an option. But if you expect there to be English everywhere you go, you will certainly be disappointed. Don't worry though, you can accomplish a lot with just hand motions, grunting, and pointing. The other thing I would definitely recommend for Japan is traveling with yen, yes, their currency, because Japan is definitely a cash society. Even a couple years ago when I moved here, so many of the places you could not use credit card at, I was so surprised. So it's very smart to have yen with you wherever you go. Woo! Time to grab a quick bite to eat from 7-Eleven. Woo! This isn't one of the tips, but it's not bad to try the convenience store chicken here in Japan, because you can't go wrong. Woo, it's good. And you are in Japan, so don't forget the tea, even the lemon tea, very good. We gotta get going, even though this list keeps going. That, and I don't want to pay for parking because I stayed here too long. The last tip I would have is to be respectful of Japan and its culture. Japan loves things quiet and peaceful. And so they really value not making a lot of noise, not making a big scene, which can be harder for some cultures than it is for others. But we all love the fact that Japan is such a safe place to come, and that's because of their culture. How about any other tips for visitors? Do you have any you'd like to share? Well, comment them below. Make sure other people see them, because I'm sure there could be tons of tips, and there could be a whole nother video of tips, but these are just some of the ones that I thought right off the top of my head. Now, my wife Ruth has a couple extra tips that are fantastic at the end of this video. But first, let's get home and give some tips for those wanting to move to Japan. How's it going here today, guys?
Good.
What's tonight? Do you know what tonight is?
It's Life in Japan.
Life in Japan night. Do you know what else tonight is? Do you know, Joshua?
I think it's my birthday.
It's your last night being 6 years old ever. So if you want to live in Japan, there are different types of visas you can look at getting. And depending on what your purpose is for coming to Japan, these institutions, these places, organizations will get you your visa. On Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs webpage, you can see all the various types of work or long-term visas you can apply for. Just about every type of situation imaginable is available, as you can see from this list. Depending on what type of visa you get, you will need to have secured a job or position here in Japan, and that organization will then sponsor your visa. Don't ask me to sponsor your visa, I can't do that for you. If you don't have one of these types of visas, of course, if you just want to come check things out, that's a tourist visa, and that's 90 days. So live it up, enjoy it to the maximum. Once again, on Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs webpage, you can see the countries or regions that do not require a visa to enter Japan for a short-term stay. Head on over there to see if your country is included. And of course, a major consideration if you're going to live in Japan is what you're going to do about your kids' education. Because whether you come single or maybe even married but no kids, if you stay here long enough, you probably will have kids here, and then you'll have to think, do you want to do private school, private Japanese school, private international school? Do you want to homeschool? Do you want your kids to go to public schools in Japan like our kids do? Working on your Japanese? Way to go. Well, there are a lot of options, and figuring that out is going to be important in determining where you're going to stay, how long you're going to stay there, and all that kind of stuff. And look at Joshua leveling up in Japanese. Way to go.
You know, today I got a new kanji note.
You did?
Yeah, I got a different one.
Nice.
And what is this? Is it show doku or what?
Oh my. Anna, Onei-chan. Living in Japan certainly comes with challenges, especially when trying to help our kids with homework, but it comes with some great benefits as well. Tomorrow, Joshua. This is it, huh?
This is it.
This is it. Your little brother.
Stop going up.
My goodness.
Stop going up.
Japan is an amazing country, one that we've been so blessed to experience firsthand. Joshua was born here. You could say he was made in Japan, and to that, we will certainly celebrate.
Okay, so let's go.
Breakfast in bed.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joshua. Happy birthday to you. Yay!
Strawberries.
7 years old.
Chocolate like pie. Chocolate. And this, your favorite yogurt. Yes!
Breakfast in bed. Enjoy it because
What? You only
It's
get
a-
it when your birthday.
that's right.
That's fine.
The chocolate.
Oh no.
And now for maybe the most important tips of all, here's Ruth with the feminine perspective. So Ruth, you had a few tips that you wanted to add. I thought they were good, so.
I do. The first is wear comfortable shoes, because here in Japan, you walk everywhere. You use public transportation and you walk. So make sure you have very comfortable shoes. And secondly, there's no trash cans around. So you're gonna wanna have a backpack with you at all times. So when you eat something or drink something, you can put your trash in a little bag and stuff it in your backpack so you don't have to be, your hands can always be free. Remember, pick up your trash. Don't be that foreigner that messes things up for the rest of us.
While life in Japan is much more challenging in many ways, it is also a very rich and rewarding experience. One that is worth the effort, if even just for a visit. And if you do find yourself near Tokyo, whether to visit or to live, then come meet us in person. We're at Paz Church most Sundays, and we've met so many of you that way. Certainly add it to your itinerary while you're here. Now check out another video from our channel to see more of what life in Japan is really like.
Chillin' time.